so normal for wells to have a power outage, right?
Oh yeah.
Instead, we had no landlines for a while, no internet, no cell tower. It was all down.
Right. In the boonies.
Man. All right, here's the link. I'm going to share it to Weather Watchers. Let everyone know we're live, and welcome to Joey Only Caribou Weather Dude channel. We're about 21 minutes away from Frankie McDonald coming to the studio to start recording session for our weekly radio show. And we got lots of weather to talk about. Why don't you give us a rundown, Brandon, while I do the sharesies here?
Okay, so yes, we've got a lot of weather going on from coast to coast to coast, all the way down to the USA, and it's all has to do with this cold Arctic air mass that is really taking its toll on our temperatures here. We've got temperatures once again all across the province of Alberta, well in the minus 30s, wind chills well in the minus 40s. Currently in Brooks right now, we're minus 33 with the wind chill feels like minus 44. I always like saying minus 44 for some reason, but there we go. So we've got this, we've had a pretty nasty storm in Vancouver this week as well. Pretty nasty snowstorm, snarling air traffic. Still a lot of the air traffic.
Maybe it's good that you're doing all this because I actually have no idea what's been going on because I've been in the dark out here.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, they've
Snarled.
snarled over 30 centimeters of snow in Vancouver. So it's been a wild go for them getting that much snow. Definitely, I'd say seventh snowiest period they've ever had in their lives. So that's the situation there. And now we've got this weather bomb that's forming in the east, and it's going to be a drop into 960 millibars. We'll see in Ontario alone, we could potentially be dealing with, first off, starting off with rain for some. Others will start off with all snow, then go to rain, and then we make a switch over to snow with a flash freeze to follow suit, with the temperature falling at least 20 degrees in 2 hours here. And then we have a potential for a crippling blizzard in parts of southern Ontario near the Goderich area, where we could be up to 50 centimeters of snow with snow squalls. And that also is the same deal for the Buffalo area, where they could be up to 60 centimeters of snow and blizzard conditions, winds gusting 120 to 130 kilometers an hour off the Great Lakes. And the water levels on the lakes themselves could be up to 28 feet high. So that is pretty impressive with the storm that is ramping up here. And then in Atlantic Canada, we could be dealing with winds gusting up to 100 kilometers an hour, but more of a rain story. And there could also be some thunder in the Halifax area by tomorrow afternoon. And even in the parts of southern Quebec, there could be up to 60 to 80 centimeters of snow for the ski hills in Quebec. So this is a big deal for those ski hills in southern Quebec, just north of Montreal especially. And yeah, that's right. And then up into the Sept Isles area, they could be dealing with the winds gusting to 140 kilometers an hour with snow and blizzard conditions as well. And the Wreck House area of Newfoundland could see wind gusts up to 150 kilometers an hour with this weather bombogenesis that's going to be forming. And then we have this cold Arctic air that's moved to the States. Right now, it is, in Arkansas, they're at minus 12. And in parts of Oklahoma, we've got some areas at minus 16 to minus 17. And areas near in parts of Mississippi and Louisiana could drop to minus 10 tonight, and wind chills in the minus 20s. So that's pretty cold for them, as they don't have proper heating for sure, because, they're in the southern part of the United States, so they don't typically get this cold. But this Arctic front is, it's taking a toll right through the USA, and it's getting cold all the way down to the Mexico border right now, with temperatures falling below freezing as we speak. So it's quite an Arctic air mass, and 1052 millibars. And I believe Rabbit Kettle in the Northwest Territories has been the cold spot on Earth the last couple of days. I think today was their coldest at minus 53 degrees without the wind chill. So that is what I have for you so far today. It's been a wild go this week. and I'm just getting on holidays here, and I don't know if I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow.
How irregular is a 960, 980 millibar low through that part of the world? I mean, I think that's shockingly low
Mm-hmm.
personally.
Yeah, it can happen. I think I've seen it before, but probably not.
I think I have two.
Probably not as intense as this one, because this one's going to drop to 960 in 2 hours or so, less than just in just a span of a couple of hours. So it's how quick this thing's going to drop and how intense the winds are going to be off the Great Lakes there. So it's going to be that's why they're really concerned about that crippling blizzard with the snow squalls there, where you're not going to be able to get anywhere. And there's going to be some areas that are going to get about 50 plus centimeters of snow with those winds screaming at 120 kilometers an hour. So it's going to get quite bad for some areas in southern Ontario, where they're probably not used to it getting that bad. But yeah, it's going to get wild.
That's the kind of waves that sunk the Edmund Fitzgerald. Meanwhile, in BC, we're getting a round of weather finally, and I could look up in the sky this afternoon and see it start to change. It's been so cold that the internet, that there's a tower that everyone in town gets their internet from, and it's been frozen solid for most of the last 4 days. So I've been struggling to get any communication to the outside world. Even our landlines went down for a while.
Wow.
So yeah,
that's insane.
And then the cell tower, I think twice was completely, nothing, right? So that's kind of, hi Imogen, how you doing? That's the kind of shit we've been going through here, man. It's been intense.
Yeah, I've seen some values up there in the minus 40s at least. So that's been, especially in Prince George, I think, a couple of days drop in the minus 40s, the actual temperature.
Oh, yeah. I know Dirk here in Wells posted a picture in the morning, minus 44, it said.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to fake a cold temperature on your thermometer. I mean, nothing.
Well,
you can fake a warm one, right? You can leave it in the sun or something, but
Prince George, I think, a couple of days.
Hot water versus freezer.
Yeah.
Okay, whose audio is playing in the background somehow? Is that you again, Imogen?
I don't know. It shouldn't be.
That's kind of hard to. It absolutely is. I just muted you and the problem stopped. It shouldn't be though. You're right. Yeah, this is why we have pre-show to figure these things out.
Yeah, no. I was trying to find the shareable YouTube link, and even though I paused it, it sort of started after a few seconds. So
I see. Brian just checking in saying it's -5 in Portland. So obviously it's been that cold in Portland. Victoria's had some cold weather. Brian, please show up for the show tonight. We'd really like to see you.
Yeah. Hell, Brian.
That'd be
Damn
awesome.
If Brian
if showed up.
It would.
Yeah, they're gonna get quite a bit of freezing rain tonight. Portland.
They always do. It's Portland. They're a sponge. It's wet.
Oh, yeah. But this is gonna be freezing rain.
Ooh.
He's gonna need his skates here to get down the street.
What will the hipsters do? I mean, those trilbies and fedoras don't protect for much. It's hard to ride a unicycle in freezing rain.
Yeah, that's right. It is really hard to ride a unicycle in freezing rain. It's hard to ride in general, actually.
Let's look at the bad weather battle board here and the whole country, except for a few places in northern Western Ontario and Manitoba is the bright spot. It must be awesome there right now. They got no warnings.
None of it. They got nothing.
For the first time in Canadian history, it doesn't suck to be in Manitoba.
Alberta, extreme cold everywhere. So that's
Yep.
Edmonton's extreme cold. How extreme? What's the coldest temp you're getting in Alberta right now?
Well, the coldest this week was Hendrickson Creek at minus 48, the actual temperature. So it's been, and currently, if I can go through current conditions here, it's dropping off once again. So the coldest today was Rocky Lane at minus 46 degrees. So that's good old Rocky Lane. Currently, the coldest in the province at this hour is Manning at minus 42 degrees, the actual temperature. And then you got the wind chill minus 47, and we got wind chills minus 47. Even the one for in the southeast yesterday morning had a wind chill of minus 57. The wind's picking up there. So that was
100 Mile House is still under extreme cold. Wind chill values near minus 40 tonight. So BC Peace River as well. Bulkley Valley, snowfall for you. That's for central and northern interior, North Thompson, Shuswap, North Okanagan, Malacca, Trans-Canada Highway, Eagle Pass. So pretty much everywhere, 10 to 15 centimeters. Can be expected by the end of Friday. And that's going on. Arctic outflow continues for the coast. Chilcotin still continues with extreme cold tonight. So it's not fully ended. It's ended for me here in Wells. And we kind of had the benefit of the inversion the last day or two, which wasn't greatly warmifying necessarily. But the coldest air has been sinking down considerably lower elevations than us. So McGregor snowfall for you. Muncho Lake, extreme cold still. Metro Vancouver. Winter storm for Metro Vancouver. So look at this. Travel conditions will be challenging. So this is from this evening through to Christmas Eve on Saturday. Heavy snow, freezing rain, localized strong winds, localized wind chill due to Arctic outflow to minus 25, localized flooding, heavy rain. Specific frontal system combined with Arctic air mass over BC will bring another round of snow. As freezing levels rise, heavy snow will become mixed with ice pellets, then change to rain late Friday. So everything's just going to turn to a wet, sloppy, slushy mess.
And then freeze over.
Snowfall amounts of 10 to 20 centimeters are expected. Local blowing snow could be strong. Furthermore, freezing rains expected during the transition. So for inland sections of Vancouver Island, periods of freezing rain could continue Saturday afternoon. As the system progresses, warming becomes dominant. Heavy rain is expected. Localized flooding due to snow-blocked drains and melting snow is likely. And I've seen that myself personally, where we were in our house in eastern East Van, and it was a basement dwelling, and then all of a sudden water just started coming up, and there was nothing we could do about it. Okay, in the Whistler area, precipitation will persist as snow and become heavy at times on Saturday. Travelers should be prepared. 100 millimeter rainfall on west side of Vancouver Island. So that's likely to exceed rainfall warning criteria. So super warning. Visibility will be reduced. Localized flooding. Take care. Be prepared. Don't do nothing stupid. Northson snowfall. North Vancouver Island snowfall, Okanagan Valley snowfall, Prince George extreme cold, Shuswap snowfall, Similkameen snowfall. That's probably going to be a different one because of where they are. So what do we get here? 15 centimeters. So kind of the same thing as everyone seems to be getting for BC.
Yeah.
Snowfall wise inland, 15 centimeters, more or less. Slippery surfaces due to ice buildup could be followed by freezing rain. So yeah, and that's the real bummer is, like, I prefer personally when things just stay winter. That's what I do like about living in the mountains. That transition's so gross. Manitoba, extreme cold. New Brunswick, rainfall, wind, rainfall. Newfoundland, special weather, wind, wreck house winds. You always know it's bad because it's called a wreck house wind. It's gonna wreck your house.
It's gonna be 150K.
Take your house right off the rockets on and throw it in the ocean somewhere. Northwest Territories, well, guess what? I mean, is anyone surprised? Extreme cold. Look at that. Nova Scotia, rainfall, wind, special weather. Nunavut in Seneca. I want to try to say it. Seneca-Luec, wind. North Ontario, blizzard, winter storm. extreme cold, blizzard, winter storm. Merry Christmas, everybody. Ontario South, snowfall, winter storm, a whole mess of blizzard. You don't even see the word blizzard too often as a warning. I mean, that's, you know, it's going to be bad.
The warning that they wrote out is pretty for Huron there. They're saying crippling blizzard. Oh yeah, word crippling.
If they're actually using the word blizzard, it's got to be serious. Let alone crippling. If it's threatening our spinal column, it's going to be brutal.
I hope the war amps have all hands on deck then, because that sounds really bad. Crippling.
Yep, crippling.
Prepare to be crippled. Sounds like a threat in WWE.
Now I want to see that. Crippling blizzard.
Yeah, go to that.
Yeah, okay.
Snow monsters are going to come out of everywhere. Like, they're going to come out of nowhere and everywhere all at once. There will just be like a flurry of snow monsters will appear. People are randomly going to be pile drivered into the ground. It's going to be great.
100 km/h, 25 to 50 centimeters by Sunday morning. Additional snowfall Sunday due to squalls. Wind chill values in the -20s. Flash freeze. Wow. Yeah. Strong winds and blizzard conditions developing Friday morning. Merry Christmas, Ontario. Very cold wind chill values are expected to develop Friday and persist into the weekend. Flash freeze. Precipitation. I don't see it say crippling blizzard anywhere, though.
At the top there, under Wingham.
Oh, look it.
There it is.
Holy fuck. I've never seen something like that. You're right. I've never seen Environment Canada issue a crippling blizzard warning.
That's serious.
Yeah, man.
Stock crippling up on things. Blizzard.
Yeah, get your toilet paper, Ontario.
Yeah, you remember how everyone freaked out over like the COVID lockdowns of, oh my God, the world's going to end. We're all going to die. I need toilet paper and soup. This is actually serious. I mean... crippling blizzard, okay? You can protect yourself from a fucking flu as much as you can. Fine. But the weather, I mean, really, you can't avoid it. Hide it. Gotta stay inside.
In Mackenzie this morning, Chris Carpenter's saying, that's cool. Hey, if you guys are watching, please hit the thumbs up there and even share. Let people know. Subscribe if you can. That really helps the channel out. We're about 4 minutes away from Frankie McDonald coming on board. And yeah,
there. Click those buttons, like, share, subscribe, right down there. On my screen, I'm just pointing at Brandon. I don't know how it looks on anyone else's screen.
Looks like you're pointing at the ground on mine. So who you're pointing at on here?
Well, I'm hoping on YouTube it lines up with something else.
I hope Gabriel Berardo joins us because crippling blizzard's something to talk about.
Oh yeah,
you'd think he'd have a rap about it.
He would.
Well, he did send a video that I'm going to throw into the show this week. I don't know what it is. I'm going to take my minute to grab a water and have my puff. If you two would do me a favor and just talk as though you're friends. You know?
Crippling things.
Talk about the crippling fucking blizzard, man.
I need to hang out with. Yeah, I was going to make a crack about needing to hang out with crippled people, but it's not really good criteria to hang out with someone.
Oh boy, yeah.
You know what? To be fair, a few years ago when I had to wear my leg braces, there were days where literally like my joints would just do weird things and pop out of their damn sockets. So I have like 9 different support braces. And so we got like a lot of snow, and I was doing, I mean, the fitness thing is an ongoing thing. It's not new.
Yeah.
But we had like, 2-3 feet of snow on the ground, and there's like this icy path trampled down that should be a sidewalk, but it's like, it's not. It's kind of a curb, part on the road, part on the sidewalk. And I'd slap on my leg braces to be able to do it. It's 5 a.m. I have time to kill before work. So I put on the leg braces and I'd go and I'd run a 10K, minimum 5. If I had the energy, I'd double the circuit and I'd do a 10. So there was like 3 times a week, I'm running a 10K in 2 feet of snow with leg braces on.
Wow.
And it was just such a, yeah. And I started, and as I was posting about this on social media, I actually got contacted by a lot of people with diverse abilities, so differing levels of physical restrictions and abilities and whatnot. And there were some really wild conversations, and I got a lot of offers to ride on wheelchairs.
Oh, wow.
I know, and I really wanted to like. I didn't meet anyone who had their chair modified to deal with snow specifically, but like tire chains or even skis or anything like that, I'd so be down. It's just we never lined anything up, but there was a lot of offers. And really, when you're doing a 10K in leg braces and 2 feet of snow, that's going to happen. And there's just something super fun about smoking weed, getting baked, and then doing that at 5 in the morning.
Hey, I'm gonna hit record.
Well, good. Sorry.
Who do you got there, Frankie McDonald? Who do you got with you?
Hey, how you making out?
Hey, who are you? Hey, Frankie.
Okay, Joey, this is going to be a continent-wide storm. It's going to hit Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, Quebec, and Ontario. It's going to hit Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., North Carolina, South Carolina, Richmond, Virginia, West Virginia, West Virginia, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and Tampico, Mexico, and Cancun, Mexico. It's also going to hit Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa. It's going to hit Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. It's going to hit Kentucky. It's going to hit all the places in the States. It's going to hit Missouri, Arkansas. It's also going to hit Nebraska, Texas, Oklahoma, and all these places in Minnesota. This is a continent-wide storm all across North America. It's going to spring so much wind and rain. And Vancouver's getting a lot of ice storm and a lot of rain in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Who's that with you, Frankie?
A fan of mine.
Yeah, we're
Hey, welcome to our show.
He's our connection.
What's your name, bud?
We go to him to get the exact weather.
Oh, that's what we all do. That's what we all do.
Okay,
You are tuned into the Comedy Meteorology Report. Comedeoro-logical here on CFR 88.7 FM, CKUW 95.9 FM. We've got so much to talk about, and Frankie, he just came on board on fire because he knows exactly how much we have to talk about. It's been a crazy week. You know what's happened is it's been so cold that the internet tower in Wells froze solid. This has never happened before. The parts aren't rated for outer space as we hit into the minus 40s. We lost cell phone service for a while. The cell tower circuits froze solid. And we lost the landlines even for a while. So luckily we didn't lose power. But here we are. Finally, I'm back online. And I'm trying to do a radio show with everybody. I'm Joey Only. You're tuned in. Comedy Meteorology Report. Your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. And it's really sucked this week indeed. Frankie, how much does the weather suck in Canada right now?
A lot. Same with the United States, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, and all those places in Honduras because of climate change happening all over the world. This is world.
Okay, now when you say climate change, do you mean change of season? Because really the climate changes pretty dramatically. We just got dumped on with 2 feet of snow from like a week ago where it was actually warm.
Well, I think what Frankie's alluding to.
Earthquake.
Yep.
I think what Frankie's alluding to is actually in the past, we might have a cold air mass that sits up in the north, and through the winter, it starts to grow and get bigger and bigger. And as it does, it starts to deepen and then spread out at times into the south. But what I see happening more is you get a cold air mass that's actually not that big. It's quite deep, and it's doing this and moving around like crazy, shooting down south. And then you look at places in the north that should be much colder than they are, and that's cold air mass has literally slid south. And
yes,
you know, is this making any sense, Frankie? Am I kind of nailing it? This is climate change. This is why we use this word, not global warming. And so people will come on Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers, and what they'll say is, "Oh, so much for global warming." And I'm like, you know what? I haven't used the term global warming. I haven't used the term global warming for 20 years. So your joke is 20 years late. Right?
Yeah.
You know, so I liken it to the guy who's on the Titanic, and he's sitting there on the stern, and it's up in the air, and he says, the ship can't be sinking. I'm 400 feet in the air. Right? So you got to be able to look at the bigger picture. So what we're seeing is our average temperature is still above throughout the year what it should be or what it has normally been. but we're getting these spikes of high and spikes of low that are coming. And then suddenly we're going to have exceedingly warm weather in a couple of days here throughout BC, where everything's going to turn to slush and yeah. So, I mean, we have what I would say is an unstable situation. Frankie, can you talk to us about how this slide of the cold weather is moving into Ontario and the United States and all the crazy things that are going to happen?
It's going to bring really bad storm all across North America. This is a continent-wide storm.
Give us all the details, Frankie. Tell us everything.
It's going to bring a lot of snow and blizzard conditions in Ontario and Wisconsin and all these places, in Minnesota and Iowa and those places. The storm is even going to hit Mexico too. High winds in Tabaco, Mexico, Cancun, Mexico, which is showers and things like this. The winds are going to be so high in Timmins, Ontario, Kapuskasey, Hearst, Ontario, going all the way to Manitoba. Trey's joining. His Zoom is updating.
Awesome. Trey Campbell, a radio man from Houston, Texas. Always love having Trey on because Trey's a beauty, man.
And California's getting high winds as well. It's a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Panama and in Central America. Bring a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Brazil and Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and all these places. And Venezuela bring lots of thunderstorms and rain right now. Over in Europe, like United Kingdom, they're bringing lots of rain in UK. UK, they're bringing colder temperatures. And Scotland got storms heading for UK as well. UK is going to get a big storm after Nova Scotia. It's going to bring lots of rain and showers and high winds in UK. All the way up to Norway, it's going to bring snow, Finland, Sweden. Even high winds, it's going to hit France and parts of Germany, Denmark later on around the New Year's Eve in Poland. Belarus and parts of Russia is going to get hit hard too. In Japan, and weather as for Tokyo, Japan right now, as it's really cold in Japan right now. Lots of rain and wind in southern Japan and northern Japan, bringing really strong winds in Japan as of right now. Parts of South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia, and all these places. And Mongolia is so cold, Siberia is so cold as of right now. And temperature was much above average in Siberia this week.
We have a couple cyclones going on. One is Tropical Cyclone Ellie, which is, hey, Trey's just showing up. Tropical Cyclone Ellie, which is in the Northern Territories of Australia. And that's looking like it's going to hit there in the next couple of days.
In South Africa, they're bringing lots of thunderstorms in parts of South Africa, bringing lots of thunderstorms and rain in Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and in places like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Madagascar, La Réunion, and Mauritius Islands is right now. In Australia, they're bringing lots of large high-pressure system in New Zealand and Australia right now with some showers and things like this. Lots of rain in northern Australia. Bringing some high winds in parts of northern Australia. In Sydney, Australia, it's going to get really, really, really hot in Sydney, Australia right now. Fiji Islands, New Caledonia, and Vanuatu, they're getting, in French Polynesia, they're getting lots of thunderstorms and rain. This is their rainy season right now. New Zealand's getting warmer and hotter all the time now. And thunderstorms going on in New Zealand. It's right now. Antarctica is 24-hour daylight. Up in the Arctic is 24-hour darkness. Hey, Trey, you're getting high winds in Houston right now. It's going all the way down to Cancun.
Yeah, Trey, how's winter treating you, Trey? Trey Campbell down there from the United States in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, it's really cold. It's 23 degrees outside right now. We're under a wind chill advisory. The wind is moving at approximately 22 miles an hour. The wind chill warning is what's making it so unbearable right now. I just took my dog out for a walk, and even he didn't want to be out there, so it's pretty bad.
The big news is this week, Frankie, Brandon has pointed out that the blizzard warning for Huron area of Ontario isn't just I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It's calling for a crippling blizzard. There's a crippling blizzard warning.
It's going to be a hurricane-like storm.
It's going to be like the night of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Brandon, talk to us about the crippling blizzard. Talk to us about the cold. Talk to us about Winnipeg, British Columbia. Just give us a rundown. I mean, there's so much to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So much to talk about for this week. We started off last week with that cold Arctic air. The I guess they're calling it the Polar Express coming down from the north, even though it came out of Siberia there. And we got first taste of it. We were heading up to Red Deer last weekend for our company Christmas party, which was a hoot. And we ran into quite a bit of blowing snow and some nasty road conditions over the weekend. I think I counted at least 10 vehicles in the ditch on the way up to Red Deer there. So that was a wild time for sure. And coming back as well, roads were not much better from that. That was that one little system that passed through over the weekend there. Now, as we went throughout this week, it's been bitterly cold with right now we're still bitterly cold. We are currently at minus 35. When we add in the wind chill, it feels like minus 43 at this hour. And we're going to continue to see that cold air kind of stick around for the next couple of days. I think Rolling Hills now minus 36, wind chill minus 49 as of 8 o'clock at this hour. So it's really starting to drop down once again here in the province of Alberta. And I think the coldest temperature so far this week was in Henderson Creek, with the temperature drop to minus 48 degrees, the actual temperature. And wind chills well in the minus 50s. I think the coldest wind chill was 1-4 in the southeast corner, where you had wind gusts of 60 kilometers an hour, plus those temperatures around minus 36 degrees, and that produced that wind chill of minus 57 degrees earlier, just a couple of days ago, actually. So that's been the story. Then in Vancouver this week, they've had one snowstorm that moved through. That same snowstorm moved through our area a couple of days ago, but only produced some fairly light snow. But through the Okanagan and especially into Vancouver there, they had up to 30 centimeters of snow. So that really crippled the airport system there. Still a lot of flights has been delayed and canceled again today. I know one of my radio friends out of Kelowna, he saw the weather coming into Vancouver. So he decided to not go to Vancouver to fly to where he's going, and decided to go to Calgary just to find out, once he walked into the airport, that the flight broke down, his plane broke down in that location. So his flight was canceled, even though he avoided the storm. So I thought that was kind of funny, but he's
Planes, trains, and automobiles. You just can't win sometimes.
That's right. Just can't win sometimes. So we're watching the storm system moving into the Pacific right now. It is a winter storm warning out for Metro Vancouver, extending through Vancouver Island. We're going to start seeing the snow roll in tonight, at times heavy, and that will be about 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. And then we're going to have to watch, especially Vancouver Island, for that switch over to freezing rain as we go into Friday morning, the 23rd here. And we'll have to watch also down towards Portland, Oregon, where Brian Schmidt lives there, for significant freezing rain. There's even ice storm warnings in the area as well. So that's going to be through Friday. And the snow is going to change to rain as we go through the weekend on the coastal section of BC. And eventually we're going to start seeing a bit of a warm up here in Alberta. We'll see a little bit of snow blasting through late day Friday into Saturday. And then we'll have to watch another system Saturday into Sunday. A little clipper system passing through. There's going to be a chance of freezing rain with that one, as well as some milder air moving in for Christmas time. That could be about 5 to 10 centimeters pushing through Saskatchewan. Looks like Manitoba at this time is going to stay on the cold side as we go into next week. So not as cold as what we've been dealing with, but it doesn't look like Manitoba is going to be into that warm up as we go well into next week. Now, as we move on into this weather bombogenesis thing that's going to be forming here over the Great Lakes here, we could be in for the pressure to drop at least to 24 millibars in 24 hours here. Do just that, drop to at least 964 millibars. And we're going to start, some areas in the lower Great Lakes going to start off as rain, then make that transition over to snow, and there's going to be a flash freeze to go along with that, and also potential, especially along the Great Lakes off Lake Huron here, for a crippling blizzard up to 50 centimeters of snow, plus the winds gusting to 100 to 120 kilometers an hour. And it's just going to get absolutely brutal over the next couple of days there. And we also have to watch around Buffalo, New York for some heavy snow as well, with snow squalls to follow suit as that cold Arctic air moves off to the east. And then we'll also watch the fairly strong winds and rain and possibly some thunder to push through the Maritimes on Friday. And we'll have to watch for freezing rain into Newfoundland as well. So a lot of strong winds with this thing. Winds could gust up to 100 kilometers an hour across Atlantic Canada, and areas off the mouth of St. Lawrence there, just near the Gaspé area, we could be dealing with those winds to gust to 120 to 140 kilometers an hour. The Wreck House area of Newfoundland could see wind gusts up to 150 kilometers an hour with this storm as it continues to makes its sweep through the area here. So it's definitely a wild time for sure. Now, I'll share the funny story I found this week here. Out of Florida, a guy decided, well, his wife actually asked him to help with dinner, but the guy was upset about that and hit his wife with the Christmas tree. And, well, didn't end up well for him. Apparently, he got arrested for that. So that was the wild story I found this week online. All right.
Dinner in jail. It's minus 52.2 in Rabbit Kettle, Northwestern Territories. That's 52.2 Celsius in Rabbit Kettle. That's extremely cold. And it's minus 30 still in Prince George. The extreme cold warning remains. Snowfall warning is in effect now. I mean, yeah, this is quite the forecast, really. If the lowest temperature ever was on this date was in 1964, minus 30.6. So, I mean, we could break that tonight again. So this has been some record-setting temperatures. Yeah. The show is being recorded on the 22nd of December, and we'll broadcast in Prince George on C4 88.7 FM on the 24th, and then broadcast on the 26th in Winnipeg on CKW 95.9 FM. Saturday for you, Prince George, snow, high of minus 10, low of minus 9. Mix of sun and cloud, high of minus 4 on Sunday. Flurries, low of minus 6. And then into a snowfall, high of minus 1 on Monday. Cloudy, 60% chance of flurries, low of minus 12. 60% chance of flurries again on Tuesday. High of minus 10, low of minus 11. So some seasonal weather coming temperature-wise. Wednesday, 40% chance of flurries. So that's kind of what your week looks like so far. We've just had Pete Galanko show up from Colorado, so we're going to talk to him in a minute. And we haven't really, and we haven't fully said hello to Trey Camp. Someone's audio is doing a weird thing too. So maybe if everyone mutes themselves, we'll figure out who it is. But I just keep hearing this weird. Trey Campbell, tell us what you've been up to lately, Radio Man.
Not a whole lot. I've been doing a lot of stand-up. That's been my main thing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay. I'm not laughing yet, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I was just making sure you could hear me, because this speaker's kind of bad, but I've just been doing that. I've been just been working on the news, and that's it really. Not a whole lot. I'm at my mom's for the holidays, and it's everything's going okay for the most part.
Can you drop us some of your new you got some weather comedy to drop on us at all today, buddy? Let's hear your new licks.
Let's hear, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me think of something. One time, oh no, hold on. Thank you so much. One time, it was snowing, and I fell in the snow, and the snow got in my nose, and I stayed awake for like a week.
I wasn't snow, Trey.
Oh yeah.
On the way our listeners know it.
Hey Trey,
Yeah,
I got something to
That
say.
was the highest
quality of
The
methamphetamine.
Uncle Rico Show with Shuli Yeager ended this podcast for the holidays. Compound Media will be closed next week for the holidays. And Reckless Airways Radio guy Sam ended his podcast last weekend. A lot of those guys running their podcast, they ended their podcast for the holidays.
Yeah, that's what I figured. What are you doing for the holidays, Joey?
Well, nothing. I probably see my kids, and nothing much really.
Another guy, AGT, ended their podcast for the holidays.
I think what we might do next week is make a best of 2022 episode of the best of the Comedeoro-logical report for this last year. And so I really need everyone to be funnier tonight because we don't have a lot of really good material this year, but here's your chance. We got one episode to barrel down and get some real good clips for 2022. Pete Galenko, how is the weather in Colorado? Colorado, Pete, talk to us about the cold front and how it's been for you. Are you used to this at all?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, I've experienced it before, though. It is godforsaken Canada cold out there. It is like it got down to negative 20 Fahrenheit last night. I was out there yesterday. I stayed inside today because yesterday it snowed. Earlier in the day there wasn't snow, though it did not get above freezing, so there wasn't like ice yesterday for the most part. It was just like dry packed snow, which was not too bad to drive in, besides some ice patches, which were somewhat terrifying. I proved Darwin wrong again. Had some guardian angels looking out for me. Did a little bit of skirt. Avoided some things. But anyway, it was freezing. Got negative 20 with the windshield. My car has a thermostat on it. -6 was the lowest I got on there, but that doesn't include the windshield or the windshield. I can't pronounce that right now. So too cold. And though I drove one of Frankie's, a big fan of Frankie's yesterday. I've driven a lot of Frankie McDonald fans out here. Though some are like, oh yeah, I know who he is. But this person like really knew his Frankie stuff. So I played him Cold Like Minnesota. Frankie, you know that mix? Frankie, you're muted.
One of the last Ghetto Basement podcast before Christmas was tonight. Before I went on the Joy Only Show, the last Ghetto Basement podcast, the last AGTV podcast before Christmas. AGTV done his podcast for the holidays alongside with the Ghetto Basement and all those other guys who ended their podcast before Christmas.
Well, speaking of Ghetto Basement, you know that rap remix of your thing?
Yes.
Cold Like Minnesota.
Oh, it's the host of the podcast, the Ghetto Basement.
All right. Okay. I'll share it in the group chat. I think you should snip it into this report. The Cold Like Minnesota Frankie song remix is it goes. I played it for a number of people.
I've had it in the show numerous times, actually. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I've stolen all
of them. Gotta keep your dogs inside, but it's real.
Okay, everyone's talking at the same time, and that ain't gonna work.
I found it. Bass Guy Show is doing their last show before Christmas tomorrow.
Okay. You're tuned in to C for 88.7 FM, CKW 95.9 FM. That's the Comedeoro-logical report. It's the show about how much the weather sucks everywhere. We got two people from the United States. We got Brandon Hauk. He's over there in Brooks, Alberta. We got Pete Galenko down in Colorado. We got Trey Campbell in Houston, Texas. We got Frankie McDonald, who's in Sydney, Nova Scotia. And we got Imogen Cookie Bailey. That's who we got, everybody. And I think Hilding Donaldson's going to show up first timer. And we got Brian Schmidt, who's just making dinner. And he's going to show up down in Portland, Oregon. So we're going to have, a real show. And I'm hoping one of these days, Pete, someone's going to pick you up. And they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Joey Only. Yeah, right, I've heard of him. Isn't that the guy who Imogen Bailey's on his show, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm getting famous. Brian Schmidt is showing up.
A few thousand more years. They will come someday.
Yeah, well, I'm so famous in Canada.
Honestly, actually, months and months ago, I played your music for somebody who I think was a little bit familiar with it. So I think I might have had one that requested that specific type of genre of music, which is an unusual request. Outlaw, country, whatever. So I played with somebody I think he was aware of you. So I don't know. Usually,
Yes.
I just DJ if people have specific requests, and I play what I like.
Okay, well, look at this. Look at this. Look who we got now. We got Brian Schmidt has just showed up from Portland, Oregon. Brian Schmidt, it's -5 there. It's
Cold like Minnesota.
23 degrees Fahrenheit in Houston, where Trey's at. It's cold where Pete's at. How are you, Brian? Are you surviving down there?
Yeah, we had some really high winds today, and this evening, just in the last hour, the freezing rain began. And right now, it's 7 below 0 Celsius and raining. So we're looking at a couple days of freezing rain. Just got back from the grocery store, and I'm ready to hunker down for a few days with some ice. But I did not get I didn't get the awesome snow that Imogen got up in Victoria. She got nailed.
Oh yeah, we got a good chunk of it. Yeah.
A good chunk. What kind of chunk?
Well, we got with like
the coldest day today in almost 9 years in Portland for the high temperature. So we haven't had an Arctic outbreak for that long. That's a record, by the way. And some people say that that's because of climate change, but that record has been reset now because right now it's really cold out, and the wind was blowing about 90 kilometers an hour most of the day today here.
I think it was a new record yesterday
for
Colorado as well, or at least in since 1960 or something.
Is it cold in your house, Brian? Like, are your houses warm enough to handle this? Like, you got a toucan inside your house. I happen to wear one inside my house because it's not warm downstairs, but it's not cold. I'm next to the fire. I'm comfy.
Well, I keep my house at about 20 degrees Celsius. We're on natural gas here. I don't know. Since I've gotten older, I don't like cold temperatures. I wear a hat. I lose a lot of heat through my head.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. So we got Hilden. He's showing up, but he's got to still get his camera working and all that. So we'll talk to him in a few minutes. So yeah, Imogen, did you get like a foot of snow? What'd you get there?
We got about 2.5 feet of snow. However, we don't really have much in the way of snow plows, so the roads are just compressed ice. But we did get a nice dump of snow, which is kind of cool. Refreshing change, actually.
2 feet of snow? 2 feet of snow?
Yeah.
Is that the most you've ever seen?
No. We did get a massive snowfall at one point. I think like 30-ish years ago. That was closer to 6 feet, 7 feet. Some areas was a little more, but we don't normally get much snow in the winter at all. Normally it's a little dusting, maybe 6 inches for a day, and then it's gone. This really is a fairly tropical kind of climate that way. Like, we don't get a lot of snow ever. An inch and everything, just people freak out. The city locks down. That's it. It's a really soft population. A lot of old people. So, retirement city. So a little bit can go a long way. But we did get about 2 feet, which is kind of nice.
24 inches.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that translates to in Canadian measurements, like 60 centimeters.
The 24-inch python.
Yeah. Young black
What your
teenager.
dad, Joey. Sorry.
Yeah. So you know what? It's pretty simple. 30 centimeters is a foot, right? I mean, we have those rulers in school growing up.
Yeah.
So you got 60 centimeters. I am so jealous.
Yes. We did get a good amount. No one's really climbed out of their homes yet to build the snow dudes all over the place, but I have seen a couple of balconies. Mine might have a few, like 3 snowball snow dudes instead of the actual, like, roll a big ball down a hill and make a base for it kind of thing. But I always feel a little, not much in the way of snow dudes yet. There's a couple roaming around, but they're not that big.
Holy, we got everybody showing up tonight. Even Joe Stover is coming over for the holiday special.
Joe's alive.
That is unbelievable. Everybody. We'll hang on, buddy. There you are. Joe Stover.
Hello, 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 hello.
You're upside down.
Oh, am I? Oh,
Oh no,
wait.
you're not.
Oh, I'm not upside down. Here I
Oh,
am.
you're in love. That's what's going on.
That's always going on. Hey, listen, I'm in Windsor, Ontario, and I'm trying to fly out of Toronto tomorrow. What do you think the odds are that I'm going to be able to fly to Winnipeg tomorrow evening?
I think you should hunker down.
It's not looking too
Winds
good
are
out
going to be
there.
so strong in Toronto tomorrow evening. Winds are going to be mighty strong tomorrow evening in Toronto, Wisconsin, Michigan, and all these places with blizzard conditions in Michigan tomorrow as well.
Joe, they're
Frankie.
calling for a crippling blizzard. A crippling blizzard.
I thought it was only a winter storm watch for Toronto.
No, I don't know about Toronto, but all along Huron and whatnot.
Yeah.
Crippling blizzard. I've never seen the words crippling blizzard in an Environment Canada statement.
That sounds really good as a person who's supposed to fly through the air tomorrow evening. So,
Yeah. Good luck.
really appreciate that, Joey.
You know, if the freezing rain doesn't get your plane, the insane, I mean, the turbulence is going to be awesome.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be terrific.
No, we're looking at the kind of in Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah, Gordon
28
Lightfoot.
feet of waves. 28-foot waves. That's what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, those are some big waves. Let's let's not underestimate the crippling effect of this blizzard.
Oh, so we haven't
But,
seen you in a long time, Joe. I got to know what's been going on for the last 6 months since we've seen you.
Oh geez, well, polar bear season really kept us busy. I mean, even beluga season as well. So it's just been a crazy couple of months that since COVID restrictions have been kind of lax, we're getting our tourist season back, and so it's just been so busy. And then after that, I pretty much started this holiday trip, and yeah, I'm going to be back in Churchill in January sometime, but it's just been a whirlwind, and I sure have missed you guys.
Yeah, we missed you too. So crippling blizzard, is that laying there?
Say it again.
Crippling blizzard, is that why you're laying there?
No, it's we're just packing up here because we've been in Windsor for about 10 days, and so there's just some ground level stuff we got to pick up, don't you know?
So we do. You have to introduce us now.
Well, alrighty.
We haven't met her.
Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. There she is. That's Nicole.
Hello.
Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the show. I'm Joey Only. And this is Brandon and Trey and Pete and Imogen and Frankie. And I think that's everybody. Frankie's not even here. Yes,
Well,
he
I'm
is.
here.
And
What about
Brian.
Hilding?
Yeah, Hilding. I don't think he can get his
Mystery
camera
Cowboy
working.
himself.
You got to get your camera working, Hilding.
Tonight, huh?
Isn't it working?
No, see where it says on the bottom left, it will say start video.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you got to do that.
There we
won't
go.
talk to you until we can see you.
There we
Right
go.
on.
Hey.
Okay, we'll talk to Hilding in about 5 seconds. Joe, Nicole,
yeah.
Stick around, of course, for the show. But polar bear season was really good.
Oh yeah.
I know that guy, Michael P. Mahone. He does Facebook ratings.
Yeah, and I didn't get any points this week. It was awful. I never get any points.
He never gives me any points ever. All right, what
I
do
know.
you rank? Number 1 or number 2, Frankie? 3?
I don't give him any points, so that's the way it is.
That
We got
means it's
some-
going to be
we
under
got
Michael P.
some-
Mahone's Facebook ranking says me versus Mary Joy DeBell.
Yeah,
That's it.
but I'll tell you this real quick, Joey, before I take off and get back to packing here. Yeah, it was a busy time. It was a good time, and looking forward to being back home in a couple of weeks. But really looking forward to these adventures tomorrow of trying to fly out of Toronto Pearson International Airport at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I quickly wanted to get from the panel here. Do you think the flight will leave or not? I want to get some yays and nays. Joey Only, can I start with you?
Regardless of the flight, you may not even make it to the flight.
Brandon Howe.
He's muted there.
He's muted.
Yeah,
Brandon,
he's a good show member.
There we
Oh.
go.
Oh, there we go.
He cuts down his
that
audio
will-
interference. Okay, go, Brandon.
That will be a nay for me.
Imogen,
That's
do
two.
you think, Imogen, that my girlfriend and I will be able to fly out of Toronto tomorrow evening?
Depends on how adventurous you are. How unafraid of death are you?
It
Uh,
may
What is
not
your
be under
fear
your
level?
control.
I think that's a no. Frankie McDonald, do you think that I will be flying out of Toronto Pearson International Airport tomorrow?
Because it was going to be so windy, there'll be powerful winds.
We're going to say that yes. I'm going to take that as a yes from Frankie.
You can't fly because it's so windy. You have to wait till Saturday.
Oh no, it's a no. We changed it to a no. Oh god.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
depends
boy.
on depends on how adventurous you're feeling. How unafraid of death are you? What risks are you willing to take? These are important questions. So, like for me personally, commercial flights, I have a real hard time with it. I do not like being on a commercial airliner. However, a go-kart with a propeller, oh yeah, let's just cruise around. Let's just get up in the air and fly around in bad weather. Not a problem.
Yeah, I suppose Imogen's point of view does matter because both her and I have done ground school and have some aviation meteorological training.
I've been behind the yoke a couple
There you
times.
go. So Joe Stover and Nicole crippled on the floor from blizzard conditions in Ontario. And we haven't talked to first timer ever, Hilding Donaldson, who's over in Francois Lakes,
Grassy
British Columbia.
Plains.
Grassy Plains by Francois Lakes, British Columbia. He's an old friend of mine, and he's quite a character. Hilding Donaldson, how was the cold snap for you?
Well, actually, I live in a cabin that happens to be on a warm spot in the side of the hill. My boss's house that's 200 feet away, he had minus 36 and I had minus 32. But needless to say, it's still cold. And it's been a really dry cold, which is unusual for here because usually we have terrible hoarfrost when it's cold. We had almost none until today. We had hoarfrost, but up until today we had none. And
Yeah, no horrors here either.
but you can watch my morning incidents on my Mystery Cowboy page on Facebook. I have a weather from my doorstep posting every morning.
Well, give us an example or two.
I don't have any copied right here, but I get up and I go outside and I read my thermometer and I just make a few comments on what's happening that morning. And maybe I mention some things that we talked about in your show the week before, and then I go about my day and I post it.
You should throw them on Weather Watchers sometimes, right?
I'll have to get with you and send you a couple of them. Yeah. And we'll see about that. Yeah.
Does anybody have questions for anybody? It's the Christmas special, basically, here on the Comedeoro-logical Report. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada. And it's been really just plain awful.
So many
It
people
actually
are saying hi
has.
to me.
Frankie McDonald, what do you want for Christmas?
I'm getting the new size 12 sneakers for Christmas. And guess what? So many people are saying hi to me.
They always
Right
do.
now, outside?
Yeah.
Well, get them on the show.
I have a question. Why is Punsey Mountain the coldest spot in central BC? Why is it colder than Wells, BC? Because it's the same elevation.
It's always cold there, but also they're on that dry side of the coast mountains, right?
The
So,
least.
yeah, it allows for that cold air to kind of settle in down there in a way that doesn't quite allow for it here.
I
Is
think
my best answer, but it's always cold in Ponce. I mean, it's crazy.
it's also worth noting that there's one crucial difference in the environment there. So both places do have similar climates, but the key difference that will be warming things up is Joey's hot ass. Just saying. Joey, you're on mute. Yeah, I can lip read swear words, man.
Yes, I do have a very sexy bum. It's true, and it does help sometimes with keeping me warmer. Although not any time in the last year or two. Really, it's. I guess I'm at that age now where no one cares about my sexy bum image.
Well, apparently it's affecting the actual temperature of the township there. So just saying, y'all got
Tends to
something
do
going
that.
on that's right on fire, man.
Kamloops first time in 32 years, minus 30.3. That was last night. So that was okay, and here's a cool one I want to talk about. Lots of funnels on Okanagan Lake. Did you see any of this, Brandon?
Yeah, those are steam devils. Yes, you get the steam, you get a little vortice there. You have the open lakes, and you get little devils show up. They happen, even especially on the Great Lakes too in Ontario. They're pretty common,
devil, you
especially when.
say?
What was
I
that?
see that happen
The
different
devil, you
times
say.
on Francois Lake.
Good old steam devil.
Debbie Cullis Hamilton said it hit minus 32. She's got it in Vernon there. So that was last night, minus 32. They don't usually see that temperature down there.
That's
And
too
my
cold.
buddy Reg, here he's got 49, 48 and a half below, something like that. It says so that's outside Quesnel. That was not last night, but the night before, the morning before. So that's extreme, man. That's cold. Like you're almost going off the thermometers.
Yeah, that would burn. Like it would be so cold it would like burn your skin, right?
It does. It burns your will to live, especially.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It would
And then the
burn
best
my will to live.
It'll start freezing up. Oh boy! And then your eyelids freeze together.
Yikes.
Yeah, totally. Your beard. Anaheim Lake there hit. There's 49 below on that one. I know it hit 50 out there.
All we
So,
hear is lots about people trying to immigrate from Canada into the United States, as the climate's quite nice in Mexico. I know there's like the crime and stuff though. If I lived in Canada and had experienced these weather conditions all the time, I think I would try to find my way into the United States.
You think we experience this all the time?
Enough of the time.
Yeah, well, some of the time maybe, but I mean, that was hitting weather that's maybe bordering on the coldest I've ever seen. You know, if some of those thermometers were correct around town. And I've seen a lot.
I used to spend some time in the East Coast of the United States. I used to spend some time in the East Coast of the United States, and the few times I was back there, it went down to minus 40 below. The only times it ever goes to minus 40 below was when I was there, so I decided to leave.
Yeah, I lived in Vermont for a while, and that would get like 40 below out there, and that was just too cold, too cold. Colorado gets cold, but not like that cold. At one point, at the dorm I was at, we would tape straws together and tape a cigarette at the end of the straw and put the cigarette through the peephole of the door, so we didn't actually have to go outside, because we didn't get too cold after like 20 seconds of being outside. That was way too much.
Gabriel tell us that he's on Twitter and he's too cool for us. Too cool for us. This is
no.
Stop it, Gabriel. We don't care now.
Twitter
Either
doesn't
come or don't
make
come.
you cool, Gabriel.
Got 18 minutes left, and I got stuff to get through. Northern flying squirrels seen at Jamie Delp's bird feeder, and yes, that's exactly what they are. We had this argument last year. What are the things at Jamie Delp's bird feeder? And she said they were northern flying squirrels, and everyone else disagreed. And I said, no, she's exactly correct. Northern flying squirrels. You ever seen them, Hildy?
Are.
Yeah, they fly.
I've never seen them in this country, no.
Yeah, they're out there. They're quite shy, and they fly. Stop messaging, Gabriel.
I've seen eastern flying squirrels.
Eastern flying squirrels. How are they different from
Right.
Western flying squirrels?
Oh, one of them
I guess
smokes
they
weed
fly.
and one of them smokes
I'm
cigarettes.
not sure. They're
So I've got squirrels
Probably.
living in my attic right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Anybody ever dealt with that? Squirrels in the attic?
No,
I don't. Can't swear
yeah,
to
I have
have.
some in mind.
Yeah.
Well, at least you don't have squirrels in your pants.
Well, no, but some people have a gerbil up there.
It's only
Wasn't that
Richard
that-
Gere, and it's kind
Yeah,
of
that's what I was gonna say. That dude from
It's
My
cool.
Big Fat Greek Wedding, right?
What?
That guy. He was in
He
the
was
my
in-
movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
he was
Wasn't
in
he?
a lot of stuff.
That
Some of the
guy.
temperatures from 2 days ago: minus 46.7 in Punxsutawney that day, 42 in Clinton, 41 Muncho, 40 in Fort Nelson, 37.5 Quesnel, 37 Tatlioco, 37 Burns Lake, 37 Prince George. So, yeah, that was some of the. Just to remind you how bad it was. Bad enough for northern flying squirrels to exist.
Do you think when they're landing, they're southern flying squirrels?
No. They stay. They just
Depends which ways they're facing.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
I was on mute that whole time. That squirrel just flew right over my head.
It depends which way they're facing. That's some good science. That's exactly the truth.
I tell you, the last time I saw squirrels fly was in New York City in 2001.
Really.
Pretty crazy.
Did anybody discuss the incredible 1 hour temperature drop in the high plains of the United States yesterday morning?
I don't think we have, Brian. Elaborate.
Yeah, so like in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and Casper, Wyoming, on the high plains, the temperature, well, let's see, 40 degrees Fahrenheit in an hour, but places like Cheyenne dropped 32 degrees in about 15 minutes, which is, I guess, that's
Whoa.
about 20 degrees Celsius in 15 minutes. Go back and look at the Mitaris. It was like basically 6 degrees Celsius at 2 o'clock. And then it was like minus 14 an hour later. So
That
it's
is
fascinating. Last night I went through all the METARs in the high plains, and it was really something. Reminds me of the Spearfish, South Dakota world record, which of course it fell 49 degrees Fahrenheit in 2 minutes there at one time.
wow. I remember being in Alberta, southern Alberta, and it was plus 15 when the sun rose on Sunday morning, and by the end of that day, it was 38 and wind chill. It was wind blasting about 100 kilometers an hour. It was extreme. And I just couldn't believe. I don't think it dropped that fast, but through one day, it went from plus 15 on a January day to nearly minus 40. And here we have another. So here's something I've been saying to people. So what do you think of this? I mean, we don't have official records, but people have home thermometers, like Martina J. William has here. He's a faithful for Interior Weather and Wilderness Watchers group. And she's got minus 49, maybe minus 50 almost on that thermometer there. I say you can't really fake cold temperature reading. Maybe if your thermometer is not calibrated correctly, you might get a bit of a reading off by a couple degrees here or there. I think the safest thing to do is to have more than one thermometer.
Exactly. That's what I have.
Yeah, when people say, well, how can that be minus 49? Well, I got two other thermometers, and one says 48 and one says 50. Right? So
And I have
a
different
couple
kinds
around
of
your house.
thermometers too.
And yeah, and have one in the shady side of the house always on the north side. That maybe you got to walk around to go look at, but it's over there, so you get a proper reading.
I just checked my weather app, and right now the forecast for tonight is between 0 and negative 15, which is
And that's
absurd
in
for
Fahrenheit.
this area.
And that's in Fahrenheit, so it's cold, extremely cold.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't usually get that cold in Boulder. Boulder is compared to the mountains of Colorado is usually more of a mild winter This is apparently this is a record breaking for a certain number of years.
But the whole western cone of the United States going into a real warm spell coming up next week, right?
Yeah, and I'll go into a real warm cell tomorrow. I am flying out to Mexico, manana. I'll be in Mexico in the afternoon tomorrow.
Oh, you poor bastard. I was there for a week at Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Or
So
about
we have in Celsius temperatures in the United States right now, like minus 13 in Denver, minus 19 Celsius Omaha, 19 in Iowa City, minus 20 in St. Louis, minus 21 Fargo, 26 in Bismarck, 34 in Glasgow, Montana, 23 in Great Falls, 24 in Billings. So some extremely cold air. And then we see how this storm is warped to give us the crippling blizzard that's coming. So all the warm air feeding in on the low side of the cyclone and all the cold air feeding into the backside of it. And that's going to produce all kinds of chaos, right, Brandon?
When you play the loop there, that will show the potential for the flash freeze to occur after the rain, especially overnight tonight and tomorrow. And then that cold Arctic air just takes right over. And I think we'll see the temperature drop for at least 2 hours from above freezing to temperatures around minus 15 degrees Celsius there. So it's going to be kind of the same scenario as what we saw in Colorado there and back through Wyoming. We're going to see that kind of temperature drop, but this time with the snow coming down and the winds whipping as well. So it's going to be quite a scenario. And you can see how that thing just bombs itself out right over Ontario and Quebec as we go through late day Friday, persisting on into Saturday as well. And then you see all that mild air pushing into the Atlantic provinces with temperatures pushing double digits on the plus side there. But there's that temperature drop right there. So that is going to be a beast of a storm. You see those isobars back together right around it. It's just like, it's beastly, right? Right there for sure.
Hurricane-like. And, 960 down Saturday morning, down to the 960 millibars. I mean, this is a very low, deep storm. I mean,
sure.
Some of the strong storms we've seen this year have been in that 960 area, right? We've seen a few that were lower, but not many.
Yeah, this could be equivalent to probably category 2, category 3 storm here, hurricane. So that's how much power it does have. So it's going to be, and as you see there, the temperature just drops like a rock on the backside of this thing, and then you have the open lakes of the Great Lakes there, and you've got your snow squalls going here, and that's why we're going to be in for quite a crippling blizzard event for areas along Lake Huron, and we're going to have to watch Niagara Falls as well for some blizzard conditions over the next 24 to 48 hours. And that will also push into Buffalo, New York as well with some incredible amounts of snow once again off of Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, and Lake Huron over the next 24 to 48 hours.
It happened just the other day. 48, the winds that blew 200 miles across the Erie Lake. It drove all the ice down Niagara River's throat and choked the mighty Niagara. I forget how the lyrics go. And tell me who was there the day Niagara Falls fell through? I was Thomas Street the miller, and I never told a lie. Yes, I was there the night the day Niagara Falls ran dry. And look at that warm-up. Sunday, look at that warm-up BC's getting. Oh, man.
You're going to have to wear shorts.
Man.
Is that weather map normal, Brandon?
All right.
This has different models on it. So we got the European, and then you have the GFS at the bottom.
In general, for it to be that wide of a radius all over cold, is that normal?
Typically with these cold Arctic blasts, you get it usually happens every year. It hasn't gone as far south as the USA. Usually these types of Arctic blasts kind of weaken a little bit before they get down to the US. So but except for this one's been so powerful. It's started off in Siberia last week with temperatures in the minus 60s. And this whole Arctic air mass transitioned over through Alaska, pushed down through the Yukon, Northwest Territories, and it continues to make its trek. So it's probably one of the most powerful Arctic blasts I've seen for quite some time. So no doubt that we're dealing with some record-breaking cold temperatures all across North
There's
America.
low in the 960s on the Pacific coast next week too.
Yeah, the town in Siberia that hit that cold was Yakutsk, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, about minus 62 or something. Yeah.
Minus 78 Fahrenheit.
Whew. I think, Montana broke a record wind chill today, minus 74 with the wind chill there today. And that's in Fahrenheit there. Yeah.
Minus 74. Good Lord. That's like a record, I'd imagine, right?
Yeah, I think it is for still there.
Even if it isn't, it's stupid.
That's insane.
You definitely won't be able to feel your face after that. That's for sure.
I thought the wind chill here was bad. It's only like 9 degrees here. But
like in Yakutsk, you could take a leak and it would turn to snow before it hits the ground.
Yeah, that I don't ever think I want to go to Yakutsk.
That's where Bolot Bashkarov is from.
It's high on Frankie's list.
Yeah, Frankie wants to move to Yakutsk, right, Frankie?
No. Did you hear about that Russia shutdown?
No, I didn't hear it. Tell us about that, Frankie.
Because of the war going on in Ukraine.
Oh, I thought it was weather related at first. Between the war and the weather, I don't know how people are supposed to survive out there.
So, Peter, you never said where you were going in Mexico.
Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for 3 nights, Puerto Vallarta. I'm gonna make sure to make a pit stop at La Leche. Is a notorious and very nice restaurant there, and some food trucks. Although there are so many good food trucks here in Colorado, and the grocery stores, I swear to God, it feels like I'm in Mexico in some places here. That will be nice. Though
there won't be any crippling blizzards there, that's for sure.
Oh no! Oh no!
Look at this! Look at this storm, man. The
Oh,
more I
yeah.
look at it, the more I'm like just fascinated by it. Like, wow.
It's even hit Mexico and Central America.
Interestingly enough, 2 days ago, a leader in the, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the Jalisco region, Jalisco region is where Puerto Vallarta is. One of their cartel leaders, the brother of the top, was captured, and his nickname was Lord of the Roosters. That was just 2 days ago.
Did
What I
hear
would
about
do is
that.
talk about drug cartels on the radio before you go to Mexico. That's what I would do.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that.
No one watches your show anyways,
There
Joey.
was a U.S. Embassy warning for the region, the entire region. The tourist areas are safe in general. And even some of the more unsavory places, it's like tourists not involved with stuff for the most part is.
3757, Frankie.
Community drive and lift is respect is one thing, like that's important to some people, and then also people want their green chili, their paper. If you're there doing good business, then there is a drama.
We are out of time already. The show just flew by, Frankie.
Hey, my Twitter is at Frankie MacD. My Facebook is Frankie MacDonald. My Instagram is Frankie MacD984. My TikTok is FrankDown984. My Clapper is FrankDown984. My Twitch is FrankDown984. My Snapchat is Frankie MVCD1. And my YouTube channel stocks will say my LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. Best of luck to you. I'm Frankie McDonald. You're listening to the Meteorological Weather Report. Merry Christmas to all listeners of the Meteorological Weather Report, which all you only in Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. And on behalf of everybody on the show, we wish you happy holidays, Merry Festivus, and all that. And I say it on behalf of everybody because I know if they said it, they wouldn't, most of them wouldn't really mean it. So I'm going to say it on behalf of Brandon Houck, on behalf of Imogen Bailey, on behalf of Brian Schmidt, Trey Campbell, on behalf of Frankie McDonald, Hillian Bonison, Pete Galenko, Joey Only here. You've been tuned into the Comedeoro-logical weather report. You can always find me on my YouTube channel, Joey Only, Caribou Weather Dude. That's where the video version of the show goes. And also we live stream the recording sessions. So if you want to come on over and leave a comment. And hey, to all you people who did leave a comment this week, thank you very much. And yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty fun show all in all. I really enjoyed it. So thanks everybody. And thanks for another good year of thanks for another good year of the show. Next week we're going to have a next week we're going to have a 2022
highlight reel
best of episodes.
2022 year review going all the way back to January 2022.
Okay, everybody. Well, that's
Happy
that's the radio show.
Bring candles,
Clip show.
represent good
Oh no!
prosperity
Clip
and
shows
stuff.
are
Yeah, it's going to be a
awful.
clip show. An awful clip show.
Okay. It's gonna be a clip show, dude. Okay, we all have to set
Clip
my
show.
God.
Y'all know that there's a
Okay.
group from Virginia Beach
So,
called Clips.
I don't know if
Money
y'all
long
can read
in
that.
Virginia Beach Boulevard. All came from moving hard. Where we moving in them cars. Whole ton of raw. Smuggle it with a ton of lard.
I'm hoping I kind
Eat
of
it like a
lid on it.
kickstand.
But y'all know how when I do my stupid workout videos, I smoke my weed on camera. I start basically every other workout video. It's all cut and edited and censored for the respective platforms. But every workout video starts with at least one puff of weed. Usually there's like 9. Well, what y'all don't know is that I do multiple takes and then I just pick which one works best, or I'll cut and edit them together.
So you get really baked.
I do. Well, for this bullshit holiday thing, as I've got the Maryland Mrs. Claus bullshit going on, I'm not only hitting the weed, but I'm hitting the tequila because that's my
no.
I got mine here.
So the video that I sent you with the weather update yesterday, that was after 7 takes. I don't drink.
You should.
So like 2 shots goes a long way.
A little nightcap before sleep sometimes helps.
So
How much
after
does
7 takes,
weed rates out there go for Imogen?
after 7 takes, that's 7 shots of fucking tequila and 7 hits of the weed. But I
7
also
shots
did a
of tequila?
But I also did a warm-up shot. I did a warm-up shot because I thought, oh, fuck it, I got this. I'll do it in 2 takes. I'll do a warm-up shot. So I've got like a little of the warmth and the gigglies going on. It doesn't, you can't tell any of that in the fucking video that I posted. It doesn't look like anything. All you see is 1 shot and like 90 seconds of weightlifting bullshit. It's actually taken from like 7 takes.
Well, stay hydrated there. Stay.
Oh yeah, no, that was
I
last
never-
night. I started
never
work at,
hydrated.
dude, I started work at 5 a.m. today wearing steel toe runners and a fucking stab vest doing security and handled my shit. Like no one noticed anything or said a word. Like no one picked up, but I felt fine though, which is kind of
Yeah, we're
weird.
still live on YouTube, so careful.
Yeah, no, like I'm not saying anything that I can't say. I was functional for work. I was
Okay.
recording a video, and I mean, like for every shot, I drink at least 500 mils of water. So I've
Okay.
got
So
my
I didn't.
fitness, man. 500 mils
I
of
didn't
water every
see-
shot, chased by that water.
Okay, Imogen. We get it. You like to drink.
No, I
You're not good
don't.
at it.
I do it
You're
like
not good at it, but you like it. You're not good at it, but you're having fun. So I never saw your reply to my comment in your video today. By the way, I didn't because my internet was being crazy.
I put something on there. I think.
Yeah, I forget. I don't know what you said, but
I'd have to go back and look.
I think my comment was, "Good Lord, stop it."
Yeah, and I think I made fun of you or said something about asked if you recognized the costume, because whatever I posted was like it was a clip from I think it was a clip from that. Whatever. I'd have to look it up. I can't remember what it was specific to. But yeah, the clip that I sent you with the weather update was like that was after like the 6th or 7th take of my video. I went outside and I'm like, you know what? I gotta do my fucking weather update. So I went outside, I did a little quick shot of the neighborhood and did my little weather update. And it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I've had way more to drink than I normally drink in a whole fucking year. And I'm in 4-inch heels and basically a glorified bikini.
Thinking about Joey.
Standing in the snow, because that's what they do. Canadian chicks, man, like bikini and snow, it goes together. We'll put on like a bikini and mittens and hit the beach in December. It happens. So so that's where I sent you the weather update, and then whatever video I
Y'all
posted was
gotta
from
freeze
workout
y'all
videos.
tits off. Literally.
That's what we would call that weather.
Starbucks.
We call that weather a wee tit nipply.
Not like what happened to me the other day. I went outside to do my weather report, and I turned around and the door went shut, and my ass froze onto the doorknob and tore my pajamas. I had to pair them to
You
get them
didn't
off
say
the
this on the
doorknob so I
show?
could turn the knob to open the door to get back in the house.
Damn near literally froze her ass off. That's impressive in a way.
That is, yeah, I've never heard that one before. No, that's good. Yeah, don't put your mouth on the zipper. Well, I guess
Well, I
that's
was
the
just
show.
glad
for
the
this
neighbor
week.
wasn't walking by.
After that, I don't know how we can top that. So we might as well cut the broadcast there.
Joe, how long
If
was
you
the
need
internet
to.
What's that, Brian?
That's the broad.
out? How long was your internet out? You say the all the media was shut down because the cell tower froze. What happened?
Off and on for 4 days, and it'd come out, and these service people would like reset it, and then by about 4 or 5 o'clock, it would start freezing. But the first couple times, it wasn't until the middle of the night it would start. But then, as we got deep into the cold snap, at 5 in the afternoon, and then all day Wednesday, none at all, just zero.
No you porn.
No,
No, he's
No,
got
that's
stickers,
why-
magazines.
no. That's why you
That's why print will never
download and have
It will
someone
never truly
reserve.
die, man. In a
Oh,
Download
poor
some
I
of
think
that.
Joey got hard
paper.
drives and hard drives.
You have to
to keep them
terabyte
hard.
of
All right.
backed up.
You make sure you got your pornos on reserve and be prepared.
Yo, man, I still got my VHS and my Playboys from the 90s.
And I'm
Back when
over.
I was in middle school, it wasn't free, and I burned all DVDs and sell it to my classmates.
Hell yeah.
Nice. You were the porn distributor.
Hustler.
You were that guy in high school.
No shame in my game. Nah, that was like middle. That was middle school.
Well, honestly, if I could have my dream job for here on out, it would just be I could have this wonderful lodge. I'd love to just make
Mo
pornos.
Hunter and Lesbo 101.
But, I never get what I want, so I'm
That's what you say.
I'm making weather videos instead. I have to settle for weather videos, and people barely watch that too. But I guess more people watch my weather videos than they would if I made pornos. 'Cause
But you have 4
look at me.
subscribers now.
I got weird teeth.
You send me the right link there, Joey, and I'll start sending you my morning weather from the doorstep.
Okay, sweet. Well, just put it on Weather Watchers, man.
I'm not sure exactly. We'll figure that out together.
You know where Weather Watchers is. Just put it on there. Post it there.
That
Just
reminds
post it on
me,
the
I
Weather
need to make
Watchers YouTube
Frankie
page.
some
Okay.
photoshops. He has some
Yeah.
specific photoshops. He really enjoys the photoshops of him with beautiful women on the beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, send your nudes to Western Weather Watchers, Interior Weather Watchers.
Send
Send nudes of Joey to the Weather Watchers
Yeah.
group. If you have nudes of Joey, that's where to send them.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you got copies of my best movies. If you've seen Pete and he sold you a copy of my best movie,
Oh Lord.
Pete, how are you gonna keep? Are you gonna bring?
We're on to something here. Will you?
Well,
So
make
you'll act
oil
as
on the
distributor,
plane to
Pete. Once I
Mexico,
get my
and then oil on
porno
the plane.
company going, Pete's got experience distributing.
I'll get the bankruptcy papers ready. I just gotta.
How can I go bankrupt? It doesn't cost
Man,
anything.
I swear to you, driving Lyft so much, I get men and women hitting on me all the time. I could get back into that industry so easy, but people are weird, man.
Wait, what
Yeah,
did I
weather
miss? I
porn.
gapped out there. I was doing something
Done.
else.
We put weather and comedy together, so it's the next natural, weather action, weather science fiction.
Rainstorms, giggling, and you go down the rabbit hole, and your rabbit hole goes to porn. What is wrong with you? My rabbit hole starts at porn, and then I get creeped out by the sick shit that I find going down that rabbit hole, and then I turn to
Your rabbit hole starts there. How
seen-
deep does it go? How weird does it get, Imogen? See, like I think you go down, it should start at PG, G, start at G, and then you go down and goes to PG, then it goes to PG-13 as you go down, right? And then you go down the hole further, you get to maybe R, and rated R.
No,
and then what happens when you go to the bottom of the hole? What happens when you're at the bottom?
So a friend recently messaged. We were chatting, and we're just kind of catching up. And he goes, "Hey, I sent him some goofy meme or some shit." And he goes, "Hey, so out of curiosity, what kind of porn are you watching?" And the kind of stuff that people message me at random that's not an odd question. All right, from an actual friend, that's not an odd question. But the stuff that people message me at random, I've screenshot it because it's so out to lunch. So he asks that, and I tell him, and he goes, "What are you, 12? Like, this is the most innocent, clean porn." I go, "Dude, it got so ugly. I had to zero out. I had to go back to, something like Pretty Girls Kissing. I'm giving the real clean version here of everything, but it went back to just the most, where he's actually saying, like, dude, are you 12? So I sent him like some links and screenshots from the watch history on Pornhub. And I'm like, dude, I can't view humans the same way. There's like weird facial prosthetics. There's amorphous anomalies. There's something going on with like an amputated leg that looked like a dolphin flipper. Like, I'm not even kidding. He thought it was a doll. We had this lengthy debate as to whether or not it was a customized sex doll. I'm like, no, dude, that was a person.
Merry Christmas, Brian.
There you
Mine's
go.
cutting
Guys, have a
out.
great Christmas. See you next
The rabbit
week.
hole gets ugly.
This
man.
conversation's getting too
Christmas.
close to home for him. He's out. I guess I should go too. I'm
I went back
hungry.
to like just pretty girls. Like, so when he asked,
Wow, that's where it's
I'm
at.
like, dude, I have to find humanity again. This is ugly.
Yeah,
People shouldn't
totally.
do that. It was so bad. I didn't just hurt my soul. I hurt someone else's soul by viewing this stuff. I didn't know that was a thing, but realistically, I did. I remember the black market days of VHS.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird back then.
Oh, there's always been crazy stuff. People have always done mental things. Like I've read, I had an interesting conversation with a guy who, he had his hand amputated. So he's an amputee from about mid forearm. And when asked, in general, how do girls respond to this? He goes, let's just put it this way. The phrase, once you go, you never go back. You cannot compete with an amputated limb. It's every one of his girlfriends at some point, they're like, yeah, let's try this. And after that, he's like, I at some point I can't compete with my own. I'm done.
Okay, well, that's this week's show, everybody.
Merry Christmas!
Good to see
Christmas.
you all. And yeah, we'll have the best of episode next week. And
You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For
you
nothing.
better